Dan participated in the training just like everybody else did. But when he got to the second obstacle, which was the low crawl, I noticed that he was moving fairly slowly, which was unlike Dan. At that point, Dan stopped moving and kind of leaned forward and went down on his outstretched arm. I reached over and I tapped Dan on the helmet and asked if he was okay, and he didn't respond. This time I tapped him again harder, actually with a clipboard, and he didn't respond at all. So I grabbed my radio and yelled, "Mayday, mayday, mayday," for real. And mayday is the word that firefighters use when we're in trouble. I hopped into the prop and grabbed Dan by his shoulder harness and drug him out. At the time, I wasn't really sure what was going on with Dan, and I wasn't all that positive he was in real distress until I grabbed him and started dragging him and realized that he was limp. And at that point, we were really concerned. He had that fixed gaze that's so scary, and we all started working frantically at that point. We took all of his equipment off and got him into the basket that we use for a real mayday, which helped us get him up the stairs into the ambulance.
And we started doing CPR and getting him situated to head to St. Luke's. Happened to be one of us, which obviously kept it close to home, but once we started doing the paramedic stuff that we're trained for, it kind of just rolled like a regular call. To see Dan, waking up 3 or 4 days later and talking to us and asking us what happened, that's definitely special, and that's pretty cool.
Really the perfect situation. You almost couldn't have planned it any better. Typically, as a professional rescuer, we deal with this stuff on a pretty regular basis. And from the time, if somebody goes into cardiac arrest and it's recognized, you're looking at 4 minutes for us to get to the scene, maybe another minute for us to get to the patient's side. And in my case, the professional rescuers and all the equipment was right here. Like I said, we deal with the situations, cardiac arrest, on a regular basis, but it's always strangers. In the fire service, we're like a family. I think of them as my extended family. And that day, without any warning, they had to jump in and work with one of the most difficult situations on a family member. So, very tough thing they had to do.
It was one of the scariest things that I've been involved in here in the fire department because it happened right in front of me. What was truly amazing, though, was how fast and how efficiently we operated. I felt good knowing that when Dan got to the hospital, we had done everything for him that we physically could have. It was all said and done. We all kind of sat back and just collapsed exhausted. But it was truly an emotional, scary thing that I don't ever want to see him do again.